Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to the sixth session of the Mindfulness series. Today, I'm going to talk to you about balance, balance and harmony. We've been talking about the harmony and balance between mind and body. If you remember, in my earlier series, I spoke about sleep, and I had said that how the body needs rest and the mind has to leave the body to rest for some time. There are many such combinations. It's not just the balance between mind and body, but there are many such things which need balancing. You must have all heard about, and it's a cliche now, which is usually spoken about, is the balance between work and life. So a lot of people talk about having balance between work and life, and how much you should give to work, how much should you give to your own life, etc. And then many of people try to get trained, they try to understand, they try to learn how to keep a balance between the two things. There are other issues like we'll talk about freedom versus security. We'll talk about individuals versus organizations. We'll talk about demand versus supply. There are many things. Picture this as a kind of a pendulum where on one side you have work, the other side you have life. One side you have just the mind, the conscious mind, and the other side you have the body, the subconscious, and this pendulum swings from one side to the other. And most of us try to get some kind of an equilibrium at a point where we feel that we are comfortable here. Talking about mind and body, as I said earlier, that the body is much older than the mind. The body has a longer history, and many times we try to overwhelm the body by using our mind, and that is one of the things which we say the rat race. So boasting about working so many extra hours, depriving your body, and we think it's heroism. Well, it's just lack of balance. And we have, as I've said earlier, that we have to keep a balance between how much time to give to the body and how much to the mind. The other side is, of course, work and life. How much to give to your personal life, your own growth, your own family relationships, your own friendships with people, and how much to give to the work side. Of late, now this is the time where suddenly everything has come to a standstill, all because of that little virus. It has made us pause, and it is making us think. It is making us think as to what should be the right balance. Just before this thing happened, if you recall, we were in a mad rush that was, competing and running and trying to outdo everybody and trying to prove yourself, and all in the field of work. The career was most important, and you're climbing and trying to get ahead of others. That was something, which was made so glamorous. It was made something sought for, and we were always boasting about how much work I do, and this is it, and I just don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. And this was supposed to be a kind of a good thing. I don't know whether it was good or bad, but that is up to you. But there has to be a balance and harmony between your own life and work. You always work for getting something, maybe your own sense of achievement, maybe it's because of the salary, or maybe profits, but it's something which is desirable and you work towards it. And then there is the passive side, the happiness and peace you get with your relationships, with your family, with being with your children, or being with your friends, walking out in a peaceful forest, or maybe going out for a holiday. Those are things which are a little more passive, but they give you inner fulfillment and peace. While this, the work side, gives you a sense of achievement, it gives you a sense of being active, it gives you more on the active side, and this is on the passive side. Again, you have to build up a harmony between the two. Any extreme on this side or the other is not good. If you are neglecting one side towards going to the other, too much of passive may leave you kind of unsatisfied because you're just not seeing action, and too much of active will make you feel lost, losing touch with reality, losing touch with people, and somehow getting into a rat race. Now that we have got a little pause in the world, pause in our lives, this is the time to think about having a harmony and balance. After all this is over, think of restarting with a little better balance. Maybe you are already in a balanced and harmonical relationship between the two sides, the work and life. It's fine. But if you don't have it, you can begin again. You can think of restart, Control Alt Delete, and start it again. So you could have a better balance. Sometimes you always have that. The cliche is, oh, I wish I would have done that. So maybe this is the time you can think of it, contemplate, think about it, and maybe begin in a better way, in a different way, as you want during this pause which you've got. Another thing is freedom versus security. The most secure person is the person on one extreme who has no freedom, and on the other side, the person who has absolutely full freedom is not secure. His food security is not guaranteed. He's not sure. I mean, if a person just goes out and says, "Look, I'm roaming the streets. I don't want to be tied down to anything. I just want to be free." So he has no guarantee of where his next meal would come from. But if you look at the other side, if you have all security, well, the more security you get, the less freedom you will have. So this is another swing of the pendulum. So you have to find out where your harmony lies, whether you are desiring a little more freedom, so you will have to let go of a little security. Today, out of fear, in the need of security, we have completely self-isolated ourselves, and freedom is practically gone. You're not even going out of your houses, but then you feel secure because security is paramount today. The need for security keeps you away from freedom. If you start moving around and say, okay, I don't give a damn, what you will do is you will make yourself insecure and you will make others also insecure. So you have to find out where exactly your pendulum equilibrium lies, and it differs from person to person. It's not that everybody will have the same equilibrium. Somebody may have it here, somebody may have it here. It depends on the person's individual capacities and individual nature. Now you have to utilize this time to understand whether you were going in the right equilibrium or whether you want a change, and if you want a change, what kind of a change you want. And again, as I said, that when all this is over and we have defeated the virus, when you go out again, maybe you could build up your life, rebuild it in the kind of a combination or equilibrium which may be different from what you had earlier. Maybe you could try that out. And what I'm asking you is to only think about it and contemplate while you are having a little time with you. Think about what kind of equilibrium you had. So that is the other thing. Then you have the pendulum swinging between individuals on this side and organizations on this side. Now this is very important. As individuals, we are free beings, but as Homo sapiens, as humans, we started organizing. Wolves also organize. The wolves and certain other animals, they stay in packs. Elephants go around in herds. Many other animals, they band together to be more secure in the search of survival, in the search of security. They band together. So there is a kind of a group feeling. So those are organizations. Now, the most primary organization would be a family, your own little nuclear family, and then there will be a clan, and then there are bigger societies, etc. Then there are groups which could be professional groups. There could be organizations which are informal. There are organizations which are very formal. So, how much an individual liberty gets sacrificed as you go towards the dictates of the organization, more the organizations you start succumbing to them, and then the rules, regulations, and everything, again they keep the same thing, that to make you secure and more comfortable, they demand your own freedom, and the individuality starts getting lost. It's the uniformity sets in, and you don't want to be seen as a person who is not belonging. So you wear the kind of masks which everybody wears. So if everybody is having a particular way of dressing or a particular way of putting something on your face, so everybody in that area will do that, because they don't want to be seen as somebody different from the sect or the group or the clan. So these are social behaviors, but organizations, simple organizations, have led to complicated organizations, and today you'll realize that just a few months back, or maybe a few days back, the organization started dictating our lives. So much so that we started becoming mere numbers. Well, some people may be very happy in that situation, some people may not be happy. It's again a question of personal choice. So you have to take a call there. How much to listen to organizations, how much to listen to yourself. An individual is important, or the organization is important. Are you merely a cog in the wheel, or the cog in the system, or you have your own individual existence? Now these are things you will have to think about, because it's easy to just go to the organization and everybody says, oh yeah, this is it. So you have a kind of a organizational the fidelity to the organization, the kind of you have a great devotion to whatever comes through. You don't question, and then you feel that you're part of it and you're secure. On the other hand, an individual alone feels sometimes that I need a little freedom for myself, I need a little time for myself. What about my existence? What about my dreams? So again, this is another thing where you need to have a harmony and balance. How much to go in for it, what the organization dictates, and how much your own individual liberty. So am I studying enough? Am I questioning? Am I not questioning? Am I being blind, or am I being aware of what is happening, and with my own choice I'm going there? Or is it just something out of fear that I'm going there? These are again questions which one has to ask. Advertising on larger organizations, companies, corporates, they try to blend you, they try to make you behave in a particular way. Purchasing habits are again something similar. So whether you would like to change, or whether you like to go with the herd, everybody is buying X brand, so I am also with them. Or I see something, identify with somebody on the TV screen, and I feel that I must also do the same. Or is it that I don't care, I must try this out also? Now these are things which are not as important as work life, or freedom, security, or mind, body, but it's again something which you have to think about. I'm just highlighting these issues. These are your choices. You have to make these choices, but use this time to just think about it, just to see where you are, where in that swing, where exactly is your equilibrium, and whether you want to change it. If you're already feeling comfortable with it, that's absolutely fine. It's really great. If you feel that wherever you are, you're good. If you want to change it, think about it, contemplate, and I'm sure you will be able to have a better life if you want to. If you feel you're already having a good life, it's absolutely fine. In my USP, which I hold in Pune, I usually encourage people to come out, and in case they want to change, we have our programs to enable them, to cleanse themselves, detox themselves, and step onto a different kind of a combination or a different equilibrium. Other issues like there's an important thing that is protection versus growth, which I'm going to talk in my next lecture. Today, I think this is enough for one day. You must think about these different swings of the pendulum, talk about harmony, think about balance. Balance is always better. For today's challenge, my challenge to you is think of three things, three qualities which you want to change in yourself. Write them down, think about it, and utilize this time to strategize how you can change those three things which you really want to change about yourself. Till the next session, bye bye. Thank you very much.